I'm not afraid to admit that I was definitely not someone who would say anything positive about Fortnite over the past couple of years. Before Chapter 4, the last time I played was Chapter 2. I mostly just had friends telling me about how cool it is you get Deadpool as a skin, and between that and the pandemic just starting, I was at least somewhat interested. I played maybe until halfway up the battle pass at that time, but I surely was not paying attention to it all that much. I just wanted Deadpool. However, no amount of Deadpool could change the things I didn't like about the game. There's not a lot of movement options, and building isn't exactly something that comes natural to me during a shootout. I didn't like having to worry about choosing my weapon carefully to break down their walls with a weapon that would be effective at breaking it down while also conserving ammo for the guns that felt natural for my playstyle. I was scrolling through Twitter as it continued to devolve into chaos as it has been since its new owner, and something caught my eye. A render of the Doom guy in Fortnite. Apparently, the Slayer would be part of the newest season. If you don't already know, I'm a pretty big fan of Doom and other similar shooters, and this render was enough to pique my curiosity. So I ended up downloading Fortnite very soon after the new season went live, and we were off to the races. First thing that caught my attention was the new movement. There's sprinting, sliding, and even vehicles, but we will talk about those later. My god, the vehicles. So I had played a few rounds of the regular mode, having a pretty good time already, but was getting a little tired of shooting once to see my opponent build an entire castle in response. But then it clicked. Zero build. I then booted it up, and this is where I found myself enjoying Fortnite a lot more. Back when I played Fortnite originally, I remember places like Loot Lake, Tilted Towers, Tomato Town, and others. I couldn't seem to find any of these places in the new season, not that I was a big fan of any of them to begin with. This season presents locations like Anvil Square, Brutal Bastion, and Faulty Splits. And let me tell you, Faulty Splits is my absolute favorite. Faulty Splits is everything you could ever need. 2 NPCs, both who sell very good guns, and one of which, Johnny the Red, is hireable as a follower to help you in battle. Truthfully, the NPCs aren't that skilled, but they are certainly good at overwhelming and distracting opponents. Each player can hire up to only 1 NPC at a time, but in a squad of 4, that means you could potentially have a team of 8. There's something magically terrifying about rolling up on a squad, minding their own business, looting one of the small houses or castles on the map with you, your 3 friends, and the likes of Joni, Halsey, Raptorian, and the Frozen Knight backing you up. Joni is easily my favorite, as she sells my favorite weapon this season, the Red-Eye Assault Rifle. Great for medium to long range, and she is always guaranteed to sell it in its second most powerful rarity, Epic, with it sometimes being able to show up as a legendary, its first most powerful rarity. Faulty Splits also usually contains a decent selection of cars. You definitely want the sports car or pickup if they spawn here. I've had a couple of unlucky games where the only car that shows up is the taxi, the slowest vehicle in the game. There are upgrades available in the game to add things like a cow catcher to deal increased damage on impact or just demolish buildings, as well as the chonkers, which allow you to drive off-road without losing speed. Let me tell you, the most satisfying thing to do in this game for me this season is knocking down the foundation of a building with a car and watching the rest of the building come crashing down. Also new in this season are flags that work similar to capture points from Star Wars Battlefront. All you have to do is stay at the flag long enough to let it rise without opponents interrupting the flag being raised by contesting it. Once the flag is raised, you and your teammates will be rewarded with a selection of rare items as well as the timed ability to see opponents and chests through walls for about a minute after the flag is fully raised. It's really useful, especially right at the beginning of matches if you can pull it off. This is where we get into what I call the Leave 3D Chapter 4 Season 1 Fortnite meta. Provided the battle bus is flying close enough, my go-to plan is to drop in Faulty, grab some weapons, get the flag, make my way to Joni, who will be inside the bowling alley in Faulty Splits, grab the Red-Eye from her, hire her, grab a sports car, have a cup of tea, and wait for all this to blow over. No, seriously, at that point you can either just go town to town and keep getting flags and better loot if you're solo, or if you're in a group, go to other nearby NPCs who can be hired to create a mega squad to overwhelm your opponents. Or at least this was a really cool meta. Until the dark times. On Valentine's Day 2023, a new event called the Most Wanted event came to Fortnite. It brought new weapon variants with special effects like an assault rifle with explosive bullets or an SMG that reloads when you sprint, as well as some cool free unlockables themed around crime. Speaking of crime, the update that added this event committed an unforgivable crime. What was that crime, you ask? They changed every NPC location in the game. Every NPC before the update was Thanos snapped and replaced with new ones. Halsey, gone. Raptorian, also gone. Joni, listen, this was traumatic. I wasn't able to find a guide for where the new NPCs are or information on what they sell, so I was just winging it for the entirety of the event. I originally had theorized that this event was some sort of teaser that the next season would be crime themed. Mind you, that was just a guess from someone who hasn't played the game in nearly 3 years. To conclude the event, the final reward for the most wanted event was a back bling that gives you a list of missions to upgrade it. I don't mind it, but a lot of players of the Fortnite community seems to. Kill 100 players and then the final mission is to get a victory royale. Then again, I could see how some less skilled players could be upset about having a cosmetic lock behind being the winner in a game with 100 players. Let me be upfront. I despise battle pass systems. I think it's really evil to make people play your game in a certain time frame or fear losing out on collectibles forever. That being said, this battle pass has a lot of cool stuff. Going in, I was expecting to get Doomguy and stop there. I actually grew to love a lot of the other skins available in the duration of this season. I love Celine's design especially. It's very aesthetically pleasing with her cotton candy colored hair. I remember being around level 30 and checking out what the level 100 reward was. The Ageless is the antagonist, I think? I don't really pay much attention to the Fortnite lore, but his skin is very majestic, able to transform, and has one of the coolest gliders I've ever seen. Doom honestly got really good treatment with how it's represented in Fortnite. We don't see much outside of things that show up in Eternal, but they gave us a lot. There's a Cacodemon glider, toy fist bump emote, even Rip and Tear is a song for the lobby and loading screen that you can equip at any time. The Slayer was also given 4 different colors, so that was an even better touch on top of all of this. In conclusion, I like this Fortnite a lot more than before. I've played a few hours of the newest season, Chapter 4 Season 2 as well. I really like the Neo Tokyo theming that they've used. I might do another video on the new season if you guys want that. I've gone past level 200 and got all the rewards from the Chapter 4 Season 1 Battle Pass, and I'm still really enjoying this game a lot with my friends. I encourage you guys to check it out, even if you didn't like Fortnite in one of its previous seasons. This truly does feel like a different game now. I was streaming most of the season live at twitch.tv/leave3d, so if you're interested in seeing me play games live, be sure to drop me a follow over there. Some people ask me what my favorite part of the season was. I would definitely have to say it was bleeding out next to an NPC waiting for them to revive me, only for Joni to have somewhat of a better idea.